Hello and welcome to the veterinary anatomy brainry, and today we are going to discuss the metacarpus or the metacarpal bone. And basically this metacarpus is basically the five bone area, and for each digit there will be the one metacarpus. So if you look out at my hand, because in case of humans also, so if you look out at my hand, so I have five digits. Let me number them. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and these are 5. So what I have given here the number as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are basically the 5 digits. And in case of carnivores and in case of rabbits also, there will be the 5 digits. So for each digit, likewise this is 1 digit, 2, 3 and 4, there will be the 5 metacarpal bones. One will be here, one will be here, one will be here, one here and one here. So 5 metacarpal bones and 5 digits. But there is difference in the different animals, because in some of the animals there will be the absence of these metacarpal bones. So if you talk of carnivores and the rabbits, there will be all 5 metacarpal bones, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 metacarpal bones, and metacarpal 1. So this will be the metacarpal 1. So this will be the shortest in case of carnivores and rabbit, and metacarpal 3, this one, and this one will be the longest, second and fifth will be the shorter. So if you see the metacarpals along likewise, the digits will be having and the different heights, because if the metacarpal of the first digit is shortest, this digit will be the shortest. If the metacarpal of second and third and fourth will be longer here, so the digit will be longer. If the metacarpal of second and fifth will be shorter, these two digits will be shorter. So in case of dog and rabbit, or in case of the carnivores, or all 5 digits are present, so metacarpal, all 5 metacarpals will be present. So in case of pig, this one is absent, so this one will be absent in case of pig, so there will be no metacarpal here in case of pig. So in case of the pig, there will be only 4 metacarpal. The first one is absent, third and fourth is the longest, and metacarpal 2 and 5 are the shortest in case of pig. So in case of pig, this one, 2 and 5 are the shorter, 3 and 4 are the longer, first one is the absent. In case of the ruminants, there are only 2 metacarpal bones, first and second is absent. So here I have just put it like this. So this one and this one is absent. Then in case of 3 and 4, so this 3 and 4 are fused in case of ruminants, sheep, goat and ox, and this fusion forms the large metacarpal. Then there will be this fifth one here, and this will be the small metacarpal attached. So in case of sheep, goat and ox ruminants, this and this are fused. This one is short metacarpal. These two fusion becomes the large metacarpal. First and second are absent. In case of horse, there will be the 3 bones present. Metacarpal 3 is fully developed. That means 1, 2, and this is fully developed in case of horse. And metacarpal 1 and 5 are absent. That means metacarpal 1 and 5 are absent. 3 is fully developed, and 2 and 4 are shorter metacarpals, what you call as a sibling bones. This is how the arrangement of the different metacarpal bones are in the different animals. And let us discuss first the metacarpal bones of ox, then we can go for the comparison. So here, this is the metacarpal of ox. What I told you, there will be the fusion of the bones, and this metacarpal bone will be basically at the upper end, proximal, it will articulate with the 2 and 3 and the 4th carpal. So this is 2 and 3, this is 2 plus 3 and 4th metacarpal, so it will articulate here with this. Then downwards it will articulate with the first phalange, so this will be the articulation with the first phalange here. So this will be the articulation, and the type of the joint here will be the fetlock joint. So it will be the fetlock joint here. So this is how it is placed between the carpals and the first phalanx. So let us see now the features of this bone. So in case of ox, as I already told you, that in case of ruminants or ox, sheep, goat, metacarpal first, second is absent, 3, 4 are fused, and the fifth is the small metacarpal bone. So this, what you see here, This is the fusion of the 3 and the 4th metacarpal bone, and the 5th is a small metacarpal bone, what you see here. So from here, so this is a small metacarpal bone, so this one, and this one is the large metacarpal bone. So the features of the large metacarpal bone, usually we'll see first. So what I told you, that this results from the fusion of the 3rd and the 4th metacarpus, and it is a long bone because it is having 2 ends. So this will be the distal end and this will be the proximal end. Then place it vertically, so it is just placed vertically, what I told you, between the carpal and the first phalanx bone. And if you look out the body, the body is usually semi-cylinder. So this way it is convex and this way it is flat. So body is, it is not totally cylinder, it is semi-cylinder. And if you cut it here and see what will be the cross section of this bone, it will look like this. So one area it is flat, so outline will be flat, and one area it will be like this, so it looks like that of a D. So the outline of this bone is like this, as a D. As a D. And how to say this is the fusion of the 2 bones? If you look at the medullary cavity of this bone, usually at the distal part, you will see the 2 medullary cavity. You can see there is some separation here inside. You can see there are 2 medullary cavities. So by this way you can say that, okay, this is the fusion of 3rd and the 4th metacarpal bone fused together. Now this surface that is towards the head side, what you call as the dorsal surface, usually you will see there is a one groove here, and this longitudinal groove, this is a longitudinal groove, what you call as a dorsal longitudinal groove. And this is also the indication that there is a fusion of the 2 bones, 3rd and 4th bones. And this longitudinal groove usually communicates with this surface, the flat surface, what you call as a palmar surface. So there is a shallow groove here, and these 2 surfaces usually communicate by this foramina here. On this palmar surface you see the foramina, and the dorsal surface you can see the foramina. So the 2 surfaces connected by this foramina, forming a short canal that is called as metacarpal canal. So this is called as a metacarpal canal. And these surfaces usually, these surfaces, the dorsal surface and this palmar surface, I told you, usually communicate. So in some of the metacarpals you will see one or more foramina here, a small foramina here, but the communication usually you can see on the distal ends. Then you will have the borders will be 2 in present. One will be this border and one will be this border. So how to identify that to which side this bone belongs? Usually you have to see the attachment of this short metacarpal. This short metacarpal is usually attached on the lateral border or the lateral aspect of the large metacarpal. So here it is attached on the lateral aspect. So this is the lateral side and this is the medial side. So if this bone is not present, is not attached to the this large metacarpal, then how to identify? Look out the extremities, look out the proximal extremity or the distal extremity. So if you look at the proximal extremity here, you see these are the articular area. So this is one articular area and this is one more articular area separated by this groove, and this articular area is bigger because to this articular area usually this second and third will fuse, and to the smaller articular area this fourth will fuse. So it will be like this. So fusion, articular joint between the carpal and the metacarpus at the proximal extremity will be there. And you know this bigger, second and third is always on the medial aspect. So you have to put this side on the medial aspect. So this bigger articular area will be on the medial aspect. This smaller articular area will be on the lateral aspect. You can see that here it is attached. The second, this small metacarpal is attached here. So by this way you can identify just looking at the proximal extremities if this small metacarpal is absent, if it is present, and it is present on the lateral aspect. Then if you look out here, so at the dorsomedial aspect at the proximal extremity, so at the dorsomedial aspect at the proximal extremity, you have a tuberosity here, what we call as a metacarpal tuberosity, and this metacarpal tuberosity is for the attachment of the extensor carpi muscle. So extensor carpi radialis muscle will be attached here. Then here there is a one more, this area is called as palmaromedial because this area is a medial side. So medial side on the proximal extremity you will see a small tubercle here, and to this tubercle will be attached extensor carpi obliquus. So the features of the proximal extremity, two articular areas, one is bigger, this is always medial, one is smaller, this is always on the lateral aspect, and to this area the second, third fused, and here the fourth will articulate, and small metacarpal is attached on the lateral aspect. Then on dorsomedial aspect of the proximal extremity you will have this tuberosity, what you call as metacarpal tuberosity, where the extensor carpi radius muscle will be attached, and you have the palmaromedial aspect, you have the small tubercle here where the obliquus muscle will be, extensor carpi obliquus will be attached. Now looking to the distal extremity here, so by this also, by the division of this, because the distal extremity is divided by this sagittal groove into two articular areas. So by this also you can identify, okay, this will be the fusion of the 3 and the 4th bone, two bones, like in case of August 3 and the 4th. And this sagittal groove divides the distal extremity into two articular areas. One is this and one is this. But each articular area, what you call as a condyle, is itself divided by this ridge. So this ridge divides each articular area into two condyles. One will be this and other will be this. And here the terminology you have to use axial and abaxial, because this will be the axis of long bone. If you draw the axis, so this will be the axis of the long bone, and through this groove usually the axis will pass, and the area that is away from this groove or long axis is called as abaxial, and towards it is called as axial. So here the abaxial condyles are larger. If you see the width of the abaxial condyle here, it is larger as compared to this, because this is the ridge. This you have not taken into consideration while seeing the condyles. This is the separation that is dividing this articular area into two condyles. One is this and one is this. So abaxial condyles are bigger as compared to that of axial condyles. So by here they will articulate with the first phalanx. So this is the first phalanx, they will articulate like this. So this will be the one digit, the other digit will be here. So in case, so this will be the 3 and 4th in case of ruminant, sheep, goat, and in ox. Then you can find here the depressed area. Here just above the condyles you find the depressed area, and this depressed area is basically for the suspensory ligaments or ligamentous attachment here, basically ligamentous attachment here. Then on the back side of these condyles you will see small depressions here, 4 in number, 2 to this digit, 2 to this digit, and to these small depressions you will have the attachment of the sesamoid bones. So on the palmar aspect at the distal end there will be the facets, or areas where the two sesamoid bones will be attached, here 2, here 2. So you can say that the distal extremity of the metacarpus you will have the 4 sesamoid bones, 2 on this digit, 2 on this digit. Then this surface we have already discussed it. This is the flat surface, and the dorsal surface, this is the palmar surface, that is a very flat surface. And if you talk about this small metacarpal bone, so small metacarpal bone you will have this end as a proximal end and this as a distal end. So the proximal end usually is broader, and this distal end usually is narrower, is attached on the lateral aspect, usually lateral palmar, because this is a palmar surface and it's a lateral border. So you can more appropriately you can say this is a palmaro lateral or lateral palmar side. So this is about this metacarpus, and in case of sheep, goat, and ox, the features will be same. The rest of the animals we can see in the next class. Thank you.